Hey there, scrappy friends. Suzanne here in the studio today to talk about the Hope and Kindness product bundle and all the beautiful, beautiful layouts that you can get from this product bundle. Here in the catalog, the May special, actually for May and June, Hope and Kindness was sort of the National Scrapbooking Day product line. And you could get the paper pack and sticker sheet. You can get a cardstock paper pack with Desert Rose Peach, Harbor Sage, and Sundance in it. Here are all the papers. You get 2 of each, so it's a really extra big paper pack. And then, of course, here's the sticker sheet, and they had some coordinated cardstock that was a little bit different. It is a wash on one side and texture on the other for the solid colors. And then the craft ones, one had these stripes and the other had this sort of background. And again, that's on a texture type background. And then this beautiful stamp set was included in the big product bundle as well. So I also got that. And then, of course, I got the fancy Doilies thin cuts, the larger and smaller size. You might have seen a layout on my blog last week showing how to use these with papers that aren't even close to my heart. So I hope you'll check that out. And then, of course, I don't want to forget to mention the beautiful pack of die cuts. I'm going to go quickly through. It was an extra big workshop. And look at all of these layouts that you can get from this paper pack, or bundle, I should say. The bundle. Here is the first one. Isn't this sweet, shall I say? I really, really like this one a lot. You can download the instructions for all of these from the Close to My Heart website. Here is the second double. This is also lovely. Beautiful layered floral bundle there at the bottom. Using 4x4 photos on this side and 4x6 on the left. It's very pretty. Here's another one. It's lovely. On this one, I opted to use the antique blue tri-blend marker to go ahead and get that to be instead of being white, to be a color. I think that worked out really well. Got these doilies again, they're so cute, and some wooden hearts as well. But there's more. This one's really lovely. This uses that specialty cardstock I was telling you about. Actually, I think this goes this way, sorry. Here we're using a bunch of 3x3 photos on this one and a 5x7 on the left page. Lots of pretty accents. I really like this stamp set. I did a whole bunch of these when we were stamping and coloring with the markers again, as they suggest, the tri-blends. Very, very pretty. Here's the next one. Here we do a little sponging on the background, here and here. I actually did a little sponging over the top of these die cut craft pieces. So I've got a little bit of a shadow there. See that? Okay. And yet another one. Here we've got these big squares on all sides, and then we're using all square photos. And lots of fun clusters. They did a really nice job on the clusters in this workshop. Okay, but I still had plenty of paper left, so I wanted to do a couple of my own. I did them in this order. Here's the first one, and here I actually used some scrap paper for the back. Some extra off-white paper that I had in a not very good brand. And so I cut the page of green paper that I still had, the Harbor, and the, I believe that's peach. I cut those each in half and made that as the basis of my page. And then I added some of this, whoops, I added some of this green and then the desert rose color. And then across the top, we've got zip strips, and then we got these big doilies. Here was out of a leftover piece of paper, and then these two are just out of craft from my stash. I will put photos of these 3 layouts that I did on my blog post so you can see them in more detail. It's pretty easy to kind of guess the dimensions, but I did want to tell you that I had split those papers. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention is basically I'm using the 4x6 cards across the page. For example, this one, I put the die cut on front of it. Here, then I flipped a couple over. I think it turned out real cute. It's a good way to use those rows of 4x6 cards that were in the paper pack. So that's the first of mine. Here's another one. This one I actually already have photos on, but I've covered them up. I wanted to add a flip flap here, so as you can see, I've done that. There's a 4x6 flip flap here, and then I like to put a little something on there so that even though this is sticking through the page protector, you know that you want to lift that up and flip it up. And then here I've got, this was just a piece of scrap. It's got a very slight pattern on it, and I just cut it to echo this Better Together side. Isn't that pretty? And then of course I've done doilies out of the green grid paper. And then there was flowers in this corner of Do Everything with Love, and I added a few more things on top of that to give it a little more dimension. So there's second of my 3 workshops. And then for the last one, I thought it would be fun on the cover. They did this one, and it's really pretty. They have done it as an 8.5 by 11, but of course, you know, I'm 12 by 12. So let me show you how I stretched this to a 12 by 12 using what I still had left. And here it is. I still had this long piece of green paper with the little white flowers on it. So I decided to go ahead and make that a strip of this going through the middle. And then I used a couple of zip strips, and then I used a teeny tiny piece of washi tape from my stash just to soften the transition a little. On all of these squares, I believe I started 1.5 inches from the top and the bottom, and then about 5/8 of the inch from the top and the bottom, I did a line of stitching. I actually poked the holes, and then I used a colored pencil sort of to draw over it with thread. All of these squares, I roughed up the edges. I distressed them. I did 3 doilies here, here, and here. And then for my finishing touches, I tried not to get, since there are a lot of those smaller squares, I didn't want to do too much embellishing on top of the squares. I did not do as much as they show on the front cover of the catalog, because I was worried about it getting too busy. But I tried to get something in at least every row. Not this one so much as because there was already quite a bit there. Same over here. I tried to get something in each of these rows. And I think that turned out real cute. I've got little flags coming out of this floral bundle, or this floral cluster, and this one over here. And then again, I said I've got the 3 doilies. And then I decided to go with the 4x4 photo mats as well. This 4.5 by 4.25 by 4.25 mat actually came out of the one of the diagonal pieces you have, and actually it's missing part of its corner. So that's why I made that the corner that has the cluster down there. So nobody knows that if I hadn't told them. So I thought this was real fun. I always like it when I can try and do my own take on their cover layouts, because they These are really showcase layouts, and I think mine has turned out as a showcase layout as well. Okay, that's all I have. Like I said, May and June is when the Hope and Kindness is supposed to be available. I think the special price goes away at the end of June on the bundle, so you might want to take a look at that and grab this up if you haven't already. Okay, I appreciate your time and attention. That's all I have for today. See you soon. Bye.